Hey, I'm Alex Webster, class of 2022, and this is my senior project presentation. So pretty much what I wanted to do is I wanted to try and run 10 miles in under 70 minutes. So first of all, why would I even want to do this? So one of the biggest things is to build a good base for cross country in the fall. It's a sport I like to do, and it's super fun in my opinion, even though a lot of people disagree. It's also to improve my overall well-being. So yeah, I want to be a healthy person throughout my life, and I think this would help me, get into the habit of running all the time and doing all that stuff. I also want to maybe try and inspire others to get out and run and be active or lift weights or whatever you want to do. I think that's important, is to have a healthy community, and that includes working out and all that stuff. Yeah, like I said, I want to create a lifetime of health for myself, which leads to happiness and all those cool things. And yeah, I want to have fun, and bragging rights, that's another big one. It'd be cool. So what's involved in this little challenge? So pretty much I have to run under 7-minute pace on average for 10 miles without stopping. Second, I need to make a good training plan. So I'll talk more about that later. And I want to achieve this before the first day of the 2021-2022 school year. So before senior year actually starts. So the way I'm gonna present this is just like this. I'm using my slides. Every single week I'm gonna use it as a journal, and I'm gonna talk about how many miles I ran, how long I ran, and how I felt and what happened throughout the week. So when I started this challenge, I wasn't in a great place because I had a pretty serious injury during the track season in the spring. So a lot of this challenge is also gonna be rehabilitating my injury, which I'll also talk about later in the slide presentation. So yeah, I haven't ran in too much, I'm out of shape, and so yeah. So the first week, we're still in school right now, and I just started running a little bit, and I started going to a chiropractor, which he's helping me a lot with my hip injury that I had. And what I had was, the reason why my hips were hurting is because my back was curved way too much that way. It was curved 90% more than it should have, which I'll show pictures of those later. And I'm gonna be going back there twice a week for 4 weeks, and then for once a week after that. So this was a really low mileage league, just 13, and only ran for like an hour and 30 minutes. So these are my x-rays that my chiropractor took. His name is Dr. Calloway at Elite Spinal Chiropractic. And you see on the left side right here, this is what a normal person's back should look like. That's the curvature. And this is what mine looked like. You see the green line is just what it was supposed to be, and mine is curved in way too much, by 90% more. And another thing that happened, it was only my left side that was hurting. So just like before, the left side is what it should look like, and the right side is what mine looks like. So pretty much right there, that line means that my left hip was like 1 millimeter shorter than the other. So now I have to wear a little, what's it called? It's just a heel lift I put in my shoe. So I have to wear it when I'm running, when I'm just walking around and doing all that stuff.
So tell us how this affects you running.
Well, it doesn't affect the running itself too much. It's more of just the preparation. I gotta do like a lot of stretching and strength exercises to help strengthen my hips and make sure they don't hurt well as much. And also just going to the chiropractor all the time. That also helps. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and just spit it out. I don't really care. So the next week was in the Juice 6. It was the last week of school, and it was still low mileage, but also this time I started a job, so I also began that treatment for my curved spine. And I began to do a little bit longer runs on the weekends, which 4 miles and 5 miles isn't really too long. That's what I normally do, but for this time in my little journey, it was a long time. So I jumped up the mileage in time just a little bit. So now, here we go, the next week. It's the first week of summer, so I'm able to actually start getting decent miles in. But for this week, I kind of overloaded it a little bit. I went a long time. And so yeah, I went to 34 miles and ran for about 4 hours. Yeah, the next week, I fell off a little bit just because of the week before. And I also had a lot of calf problems the week before, and they started to feel a bit better. So that helped, so a little bit less mileage. See, the week after, I got a lot of miles in. I was really happy. I actually broke 40 miles for the first time in a long time after the injury. And for our practices we're doing as a cross-country team, we were running 6 to 8 mile days at around 6:40 pace. So doing that kind of stuff maybe it gave me like no doubt in my mind I can complete this challenge whenever I wanted. So the next thing, this was also a big checkpoint, I guess, in my little journey. So there's this race called Bone and Back. It's a 40-mile race that you can split up between 8 people, 4 people, 2 people, or you can do it yourself. But I got a team of 8 with some of my teammates and a couple other kids that have already graduated. And so yeah, pretty much I ran just under 5 miles at 6:07 pace, which is way faster than my 10-mile race pace that I want. And so yeah, it was pretty cool. So this week was interesting, is week of July 4th, there's a firecracker 5K race that I was gonna run, but I was not able to do it because I got heat exhaustion from staying out in the sun too much at work, and that kind of sucked. But it is what it is. It's part of the learning experience, and so in a way I'm kind of glad it happened because it taught me to be more careful about how long I'm out in the sun. Yeah, this was just another good week. We had a 5K time trial on the track. And I also attempted the 10-mile this week, which was actually the only time I did it because I did it first try, but I'll show that in a little bit. So yeah, got decent 37 miles, got 4 hours and 20 minutes, which was pretty sweet too. So this was my actual project right here. So what I did is I combined a couple of the routes that I already knew, and I tried to make a good route that would make it so I wouldn't have to have any stoplights, I wouldn't have to stop at all, so I could just keep going, not have to worry about anything like that, just running. So you see right here, I got exactly 10 miles. The route was a little short, so I just kind of had to run in a circle for a little bit until I got 10 miles. I ended up with a 6:53 average miles. And so yeah, I was pretty happy with it. I'll show the splits right here. See, like the first 5 miles right here, I was barely on pace. I cracked above 7 minutes, which wasn't very good. But then the second half of the run, I was able to pick it up.
Wait, so on this run, did you end up getting your goal?
I did, yes. So let's see. I'll go back right here. Oh, it's not switching. Yeah, I wanted to get 70 minutes. I ended up getting 68 minutes and 50 seconds. So I broke it by a minute and 10 seconds. So I had a lot of cushion in there too. It was good. So yeah, that made me really happy. Why isn't it switching?
It's just been a little slow. Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Well.
So how long from when you started running to when you actually ran the 10 miles? How long was that?
Like how many